Let's take it overseas now. Lots of other news to get to today, including new developments in just the last hour or so, where Israeli troops have started intercepting this flotilla. I want to show you a live look. These are the boats that left, that are basically tried to head toward Gaza to try to bring aid. A symbolic amount of aid, but aid to Gaza. And on board, Greta Thunberg, the high-profile activist. Israel's foreign ministry is now out with some of this video. We'll show you here in just the last couple of minutes, showing Thunberg, there she is, as she's being transferred to an Israeli port. Israel says she and, in their words, her friends are safe and healthy. Other activists sending out this message as all of this was going down not too long ago.
If you are watching us this video, it's because we have been attacked or abducted by the Israeli forces, and we ask for you to ask for your government to release us or to make something to keep this tripulation safe.
We know Israel had asked that group of boats to change course because it said they were getting close to what they call an active combat zone. They had already warned that no boats could get into Gaza because of a blockade to prevent Hamas from bringing in weapons by sea. We've got our Richard Engel, who's following all of this for us. You've been watching everything going down with this flotilla. It's not the first time that we've seen, right, something like this be intercepted, right?
No, it is not. In fact, Greta Thunberg tried to do this earlier this summer, was detained, the ship stopped, she was taken to an Israeli port and then later deported. This time, she and other activists tried it again with a much larger flotilla, about 40 boats, 41 boats, roughly 500 activists on board. And as they were getting closer and closer to the Gaza coast, they had hoped to arrive in Gaza tomorrow. They were encountering problems. First, they were hit by a drone. They blamed Israel for that. And then last night, the ships were circled, they said, by also the Israeli Navy. And they said that the Israeli Navy, as while circling the ships, launched a cyber attack, damaging their communications, limiting their ability to communicate. Apparently, however, that was restored because today, when they were ultimately intercepted, and that has been confirmed by the Israeli Foreign Ministry, they were broadcasting out, or some of the ships were broadcasting out live streaming messages. And one of the activists put out on X what he was seeing and what he was experiencing.
They are currently hailing our vessels, telling us to turn off our engines and await further instructions, or our boats will be seized and face the consequences.
So as you mentioned, this was just a symbolic amount of aid that they were carrying, but the point was to engage in civil disobedience, to break the blockade, which they consider illegal. Yeah. They knew, or there was a high expectation, that they would be stopped. At one stage, they had an escort from the Italian Navy, but the Italian Navy didn't escort them as they got very close to the Gaza shoreline, and the Italian Navy made it clear that it had never had any intention of engaging militarily against Israeli forces.
So what is the current status of getting additional aid to the people who need it in Gaza?
Well, this flotilla is not going to be one of those methods. Right now, everything is suspended at the moment. People are waiting to see Hamas's response to President Trump's peace initiative. President Trump yesterday gave Hamas 3 or 4 days to accept or deny his latest initiative, a 20-point plan that would force Hamas to lay down its weapons, release the hostages immediately in exchange for Israel stopping the war, and eventually, at a time of Israel's choosing, pulling back its troops from the Gaza Strip. But there is a persistent shortage of aid that has been denounced by dozens and condemned by dozens of aid agencies.
Richard, before we let you go, any indication on timeline here from when Hamas may show their cards as to the response here to this proposal from the president and from Israel?
No indication. There have been several Hamas officials who've been speaking on background to different news agencies, expressing their displeasure with this agreement, saying that it's too vague, saying that it doesn't uphold Palestinian rights and Palestinian principles. But they are under a tremendous amount of pressure because many Arab and Muslim states have accepted this deal. Even the Pope today appeared to endorse it. So if they do reject the deal, they would be somewhat of an outlier and could, in fact, be blamed for the intensified war that Israel and President Trump are promising will come if they reject the deal.
Richard Engel live for us in Jerusalem with plenty to watch in the hours ahead. Richard, thank you.
We thank you for watching. And remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.